everybody. This is Lee Aaron, and you're watching CMS TV.
Perfect.
Metal Show right here on the classicmetalshow.com. Kicking off the show tonight, we heard something from Queensryche with Anybody Listening, and we just heard the Scorpions there with Bad Boys Running Wild, and this is one of your bad boys being joined by the other bad boy, Chris Aiken. What's going on there, Chris?
What is up, sir? How are we doing?
Well, the question is how are you doing?
I am good. I am probably 80%. I feel much better. So
that's good.
You know, I'm still a little winded on everything I'm doing, but you know, I'm making major strides. You know, to me, they're major strides, maybe not to everybody else, but I was able to get from my bedroom to the bathroom to take a shower today. Actually was able to take a shower standing up for the first time in fucking forever. Then I was able to go from the bathroom into the kitchen and make coffee without sitting down. So it's little steps, but I'm getting it back finally. And I definitely feel immensely better. You know, no more feeling sick, no more tired every time I move from room to room or nothing. You know, I just still short of breath, but other than that, I feel perfectly normal, I guess.
Did you go to the mailbox?
Not yet. Not yet. I'm afraid if I get out there, I ain't getting back.
Right.
You know, that's the last thing I need to do is just lay down in my driveway or whatever.
Well, you could pretend you're just getting a little sunshine, getting some vitamin D in your system.
Yeah. Well, believe me, I got enough vitamin D from the fucking vitamins I take.
Yeah. Chris, are you doing okay? Just laying here getting some vitamin D. Thanks for your concern, though. I'll get up, maybe in an hour or so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the other problem, too. How much energy will it take me to lift my fat ass off the ground? I might stand up and then sit back down.
Yeah. Well,
but no, I do feel much better, man. I'm getting there slowly but surely.
Sure.
So.
Well, that's good to know. I mean, I shared with you a little unfortunate news this week.
Yeah.
One of our, I guess you would call him a CMS alum, as well as a family member of mine, Officer Jim.
Yeah.
He's in the hospital on a ventilator.
Yeah.
Not
that
good.
Sucks. That sucks. I hope he pulls through that.
Yeah, so do I. So, it came on quick for him. I mean, I guess he was okay, like a week ago yesterday, and then it just kind of came on real quick. I mean, he even went to the doctor, with the symptoms, and the doctor gave him a COVID test, and, he tested positive, and the doctor, just thought, well, he'll go home, recuperate, rest up, get it out of his system. But it came on strong and fast, and now he's in the hospital.
Does he have the pneumonia or just the COVID?
I don't know.
Not that one's better than the other.
All I know is that, he was oxygen deprived.
Okay. Yeah. So he's probably got the pneumonia too, where his lungs were dying out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't have a lot of information on it. My sister, of course, she's a wreck. So,
sure.
That's just a day by day, minute by minute thing. So, for those of you who are familiar with Officer Jim, send some good thoughts his way.
Yeah, it definitely does. Because as someone that just walked this walk, I can tell you it ain't fun. Ugh, no, and he's doing it worse than I did.
Yeah.
So, I hope he does better. I know sometimes he wants to murder me, but I don't have any hard feelings for Officer Jim. I hope he does. He seems like a good dude. So
yeah, he's a good guy. And he loves the show. So, Again, good thoughts and prayers to Officer Jim. Again, I don't have any other news than just what I just told you. So I'm even in the dark. I really don't know what's going on. I try to check in on the status, and my sister, she's got the COVID too, which she's just got minor symptoms, but of course she's not allowed to go to the hospital.
Sure.
And being that he's in ICU, of course she can't go there. So whatever information she has to be relayed to her via the telephone.
Right, which is awful.
Yeah, so there isn't a whole lot she can tell me either.
Yeah, that's my mom told me that, because I would, people were allowed to come to where I was, but I actually put the kibosh on that. I told the hospital I didn't want any visitors, because truthfully, I didn't want any of them to see me drop dead. So, I just said no visitors, but it's, my mom told me that was the hardest part for her, was that she knew I was sick and she couldn't come up, and she was worried that was going to be it. So, dude, this COVID thing, I know we busted on it for a year and a half that it was just bullshit or whatever, but
I don't think we ever said it was bullshit. I mean, we both agreed that it was a real thing. And to be honest with you, I don't think either one of us are anti-vaxxers per se or whatever. I think our problem is the totalitarian way that this government is basically saying, you have to get this or else.
Yeah, we're anti-taking choice.
Yeah, and it's like, you're going to take this no matter what you think, and we're going to give you a card to prove it. It's like, what is that all about?
Yeah.
Why can't you just give me the vax, and why do you have to record it, and why do I have to carry a card and all that other bullshit? Yeah, that's the part I'm against.
Me too, because where does that stop?
That's the whole thing. Where does it stop?
If they...
For anybody who wants to get the shot and all that other stuff, go right ahead. If that's your choice, go do it. I don't give a shit if you do it, and I don't give a shit if you don't. I don't care one way or the other. All I care about is that I have the choice to do what I want to do without anybody being judgmental, without anybody saying papers, please, without anybody treating you like a leper because, you're going against the government mandate. It's like, yeah, well, the government today, if you trust anything this government does, especially this administration, you are a complete fool.
A fucking moron. Yeah, no, I'm with you 1,000% on that, dude. It's the decision is the issue. I just went through it, and I now have maybe a different view than I did before about getting the vaccine. Once I see some specialists, to be perfectly honest, I may well do what I said I would never do right here on this show. And if I do, I'll admit it and let everybody beat me up on it. I may go get it. I don't know. I don't want to do what I just did twice. I know that.
Well, I agree with you, but they're finding out now that people who have had the COVID, their immunity is 27 times stronger than someone who got the shot.
I like hearing that. And
27 times stronger.
Right. And mine is probably 99 times stronger since I'm never leaving the house again. So, it's just so soon and so new and so many variables for everybody's individual thing, whatever your personal health issues are. I mean, some people can't take the vaccination due to their underlying issues, whatever. They might have a heart issue. They might have some other kind of issue that taking the vax would be bad for them. That's the thing. Yeah, well, whatever the case may be, whatever your personal thing is, but it's not a one size fits all thing. And that's the thing I have a problem with. It's just like, well, you better take this or else. It's like, you don't know anything about me. Yeah. Well, and that therein lies the problem. Like we were saying before, where does it stop? What's to say that the next thing is that once a year you don't have, you get tested to see if your vitamin intake is right, or if you're taking too much sugar, or you're, anything, you're not exercising enough, shit like that. What's to say, if you start getting, I know we've referenced this a million times, but it's like smoking in buildings. At first, you remember, it was just in bars. We're going to ban smoking just in bars. And half the people were all for that. Now, where can you fucking smoke if you want to smoke? Nowhere. It's banned everywhere.
Yeah,
and
even outside. If you're going to smoke, you got to smoke 25 feet away from this open door, the entrance to this building, or whatever the case may be. And again, if you're a smoker, I mean, that's your choice, obviously. Yeah. But now it's just like, well, you can't do it here, you can't do it there. You got to have this, criteria and all these other things,
Yeah, and they claim it as in for safety. Well, that's bullshit. If you're allowed to smoke, there's always an inherent risk. There's a risk in the fucking air that everybody breathes, no matter where it is. So either ban it or don't. Same with this fucking vaccine shit. Like the concert venues and the football games and whatever that are blocking. If you have had the vax, you're fine. But if not, you have to have a test within 3 days. Well, it's pretty well proven that you can have the vax and still have COVID. So how is that safety? There's no safety in that. Yeah, if anything,
you could be carrying the virus with you. It may not affect you.
Yeah.
But if the concern is you're going to affect your neighbor, there's a possibility you could be vaxxed and be carrying the virus, that contagion, and contaminate somebody else if that's the if that's the concern.
Yeah. If you're really worried about it, then everybody takes a fucking test. Everybody tests that 2-3 days, whatever that is, ahead of it. And if you're not carrying, then you come in. The vax status shouldn't matter. And that's the problem. They're using these little things to further their agenda, not because of what
and erode your liberties.
Yeah. And it's not about what they're saying it's about. It's not about safety. Because if it was about safety, again, you would make everybody take a test, whether they've been vaxxed or not, and then come in. You would make everybody do it. You would just say, well, you've been vaxxed, so you're good. Because you being vaxxed doesn't mean you can't kill the guy next to you that hasn't been. But they don't care because they're happy if guys that are not vaxxed are dead. And I know that sounds crazy, but that's just the truth of it. They're happy if people that are not vaxxed die. The hospitals are happy because they get a stipend for that, for a COVID death. And the fucking, and the government, they want everybody vaxxed. So they're happy to have the stragglers just fucking die.
Mm-hmm.
And they can't shoot them with a gun.
But we're not worried about the tens of thousands of illegals coming across our southern border, whether they're vaxxed or not. We don't care.
Doesn't matter. Those just because they're better people, dude.
It's just
they vote Democrat. That's what it is. They vote Dem.
Yep. So that's just so stupid. Well, we're not worried about all these people coming from God knows where up through our southern border and whether they're carrying anything, whether it's COVID or tuberculosis or the measles or HIV or it doesn't matter. Come on in,
dude. Damn well those people are healthy.
Sure they are.
They are. They come from those those countries that are so known for their medical care.
Exactly. Come on in.
Come on, have fun.
Yeah. You don't care.
If you kill all of our people, then it'll be your country.
Right, of course. So stupid.
It's fucking dumb.
It's so stupid. But not to start the show on a downer, but the thing is the more I hear about this, you must get vaxxed, and now we're getting into the children who've been proven over the last almost 2 years already that children are not susceptible to the COVID. But they're talking about vaxing the children. There is more to this vax than just getting vaxxed. What is it? Is it some kind of a record? Is it some kind of a way of tracking? What is it? There's more to it than just getting the vaccination.
Yeah, seems like it.
Somebody is either getting filthy rich off of this, or there's some other underlying reason for this urgency to get everyone vaxxed, whether you're young, old, whether you're susceptible, whether you've had the COVID or not, whether you have the antibody, everybody, you must get it. You must get it. You must get it. It's this constant drumbeat. And it's like, what is this really all about?
Yeah, it's crazy talk.
What is this really all about? It's not about the vaccine, and it's not about the COVID. It's about something else.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just an underlying something, and I don't know exactly what it is, but it's got to be something more than this.
Yeah. Well, it's about control, man. It's population control. I still, and I know we're going way conspiracy theorist here, but
I know, but
I think it's population control.
It could be.
It's get everybody used to taking these boosters, and then when we're ready to axe people, we just fucking hit them with some bullshit and say, "Oh, it was a bad batch."
Yeah, well, again, and that then again, you might be right about this whole, but it's this conditioning. Oh, well, this is what we need to do for the greater good. We need to do this for the greater good. I heard that fraud Fauci this week. He got into this whole discussion or this orientation, like, well, we've all lived in the greatest country in the world, and this country has afforded you all the benefits and all the, all the good things in life. And, we all have our freedoms and our liberties and our choices. But when it comes to this pandemic, you got to put your freedom and your choices and your liberties aside and worry about the greater good. Just put your liberties and your freedoms aside. You've got to just relinquish that. He said that.
Yeah, well, while he's busy doing that, he can go ahead and put his lips around my dick as well. Fuck him. He's a fucking moron.
I mean, to say that, are you fucking kidding me? You've got to put your freedoms and your liberties aside and do what's best for the greater good and just follow and do what you're told.
Yeah, it's fucking retarded. Fauci's a fucking boob.
I know, he's a fraud.
Yeah. Well, he made AIDS work, so why not this one too?
Sure, why not?
Wasn't he the AIDS guy too?
Yeah, he was in on that. And strangely enough, this the derivative of this COVID has the HIV components to it.
Yeah. Well, fuck Fauci. He's a cunt.
Yeah. Oh shit. All right. Well, let's not dwell on the whole COVID thing, but again, I don't know, man. I hear stuff going on. I see stuff going on, and this: give up your liberties, give up your freedoms. You got to do this. You got to do this. It's for the greater good. Everybody needs to do this. Don't worry about your personal freedoms. Just worry about your neighbor and the safety and the safety and the safety and the safety. Yeah. That's all I hear is the safety.
Sure.
And it's just like, boy. Who's fallen into that? Who's the weak-minded simps falling into that trap?
Well, if you want to be controlled and safe, go ahead. I'll take dangerous and free.
I will too.
I'll take that every day. And if that means that I die early, so what?
Give me liberty or give me death.
Yeah, exactly. If you're not free, who wants to be alive? What good is that? Ask those North Korean people. Give them 6 weeks here and see if they want to go back.
Right.
Well, I have a way to change this, but still sort of be on topic.
All right. Please do.
So apparently my illness has reawakened people to how uplifting and inspirational I am, and as a byproduct, you are, for doing the Classic Metal Show.
Oh, yeah? Really? How so?
I got 2 different messages on Facebook this week from different people, one that I know and one that you know really well, and one that we don't know at all.
Okay.
At least I don't know at all. Saying how great we are.
Oh, all right.
Would you like to hear those?
I would. I'm always, I'm always surprised.
Yeah.
When you tell me, about these things, but I'm always interested as well. So who said what and where and when and how, and just lay it on me.
All right. Well, this first one comes from somebody I don't know. And apparently he knows I don't know him, and I don't think he knows you either. Dan from Missoula. Do you know Dan from Missoula?
I do not know Dan from Missoula.
All right. Well, Dan from Missoula said, "I'm so glad to hear you're back on the CMS. I won't lie, I was worried about you. I know we don't know each other, but you and Neeley are like my brothers that I never had in my life."
Wow.
Wow. Whether it's through humor or the serious looks you take at the issues of the day, you guys are more important to how I live my life than even my closest friends are.
Really? Wow.
Dude, you better get some better friends.
That just inspires me to continue on with my life coaching aspirations.
Yeah, there it is. Let's see. It is weird that I had feelings of grief hearing how sick you were. I knew you would beat COVID, though, because you are a badass. You and Neeley keep bringing us the great shows. I guess that's supposed to be you and Neeley keep bringing us the great shows. You inspire me and probably lots of other listeners. Dan in Missoula.
Well, thanks, Dan in Missoula. We appreciate the accolades. I don't know that it's deserved, but, regardless, thank you.
I'll just say, Dan, get better friends. If you're listening to our stupid shit and that's closer than your friends are, I think that says something to the level of friends you're picking, my friend.
We're just relatable, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
To certain people, I guess. Yeah.
I mean, definitely appreciate the sentiment, but dude, get somebody to be close to. Somebody you can talk to.
Right.
All right, and then here's the other one. And this guy, we both know way too well. Rockin' Randy Trask.
Oh, really? Oh, Rockin' Randy.
Yeah. Randy just hit me up and said, nothing up, just saying, hey, I'm pretty sure you're like the toughest person I know, Chris. So many strengths, brother, that you're giving this world with so many strengths, brother, that you're giving this world with what you do. Some you know and some you'll never know. Just believe me when I say not a single day goes by that somewhere along that day, I'm going to come across an obstacle or some sort. And of all the damn people in the world I could think of for inspiration, I think, what would my bro Chris say?
What would Chris do?
I am a literal Jesus now.
Yeah, WWCD.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get that. I need to get that on some cups or something.
Yes, WWCD.
Let's see. LOL, you're really, really real. Always have been, always will be. And I know that about you, brother. Priceless. Keep rocking, Chris. You already know some way, shape, or form. I'm going to do it till my dying day. I'm not smart enough to lie. I'll forget what I said.
Is that really Randy, or is that the pot? Is that the pot speaking?
I'll take it either way. I think the beginning part might have been really Randy at the beginning of smoking, and by the end he was like, 3 or 4 joints in. Yeah. But thank you, Randy. Appreciate it. So there you have it.
All right.
Some inspiration from us.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah. It's just, I still go back to Dan, though, dude. It's appreciated and all, but, bro, you got to have people in your own life, man. You can't just look for 2 fucking dummies on the internet.
Well, I guess maybe it's just our blatant honesty that, most people don't get.
Yeah, I guess
they don't, regardless, it's if the people that you know in your life or hang out with or work with or whoever you associate with, most people are not as forthright or honest. And you and I go at it with the attitude of, what do I got to lose?
Yeah. Why bullshit anybody?
Yeah. Well, the thing is that both of us know that if anybody disagrees or doesn't like our viewpoint or whatever the case may be, they can just shut the show off and not listen.
But they don't. They just whine. Mm-hmm. That's been another theme this week. People that hate us.
Oh, really?
Let me go to YouTube.
Oh, there we got haters out there.
Oh, we got haters as well.
Okay.
Every time we do something good, then there's something bad to even it out. Let me go to YouTube.
Well, that's the whole thing about the show. It's polarizing. You have the lovers and you have the haters.
Yeah. Clearly, people didn't like that we said that David Lee Roth might die.
We didn't say he might die. No, we questioned what the motivation was behind his
message.
Yeah, his message. I mean, it sounded that way.
Yeah. Well, of course, anytime you mention David Lee Roth and you don't say he's the greatest singer of all time, you're an asshole.
Well, he's not the greatest singer of all time.
No, He's definitely not. He's not even a good singer. He never
He's
was.
not a good singer. I mean, if you want to talk, if you want to talk in the context of rock and roll,
Yeah.
probably the greatest singer, at least one of them, at least in the top two, is Ronnie James Dio.
Yeah, Dio, Jeff Tate in his day.
Well, I'm talking about someone who was able to take care of it all the way to his death.
Yeah.
I mean, that little fucker sang his ass off all the way to the day he died.
Yeah, with cancer rotting him out, he still was bringing it.
And another one, he's not top tier singer, but regardless of his physical, status, Jack Russell.
Yeah, he's great voice.
This guy still can sing his ass off, regardless if he's, laying up in a bed right now in bad condition.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Well, let's see. Here's some of our friends that didn't like that.
All right.
First one, a pair of dinks, you two. Christ.
That's it?
That's it for that guy.
Okay.
It's YouTube. The comments are shorter.
All right. Okay.
Let's see. Here's another one. I enjoy this rock nerd and Artie Lang wannabe getting to comment on shit they've never gotten to do.
What does that mean?
Well, you're the rock nerd, I'm assuming, because I'm the Artie.
What are we commenting on? What is it we hadn't done?
I guess toured the world in the biggest band ever.
Well, that's all well and fine, but does that change the status of David Lee Roth?
Of course not. But if you say anything against the great David Lee Roth,
but neither one of us said anything against him. All we were doing, or mostly you, was interpreting what his cloak message was really trying to say.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I said it at least 3 times that I had no information on it. I was just guessing. That's what, didn't I say that like 3 times?
And here's the other thing. Our good friend Ozzy Ace, he sent me an email today saying the Music Observer is stealing your line. He's making the prediction too that David Lee Roth is gravely ill.
Well, he probably is.
Yeah, but he said he took your line. He's making the same comments. It's like, okay, anybody can interpret his weird statement any way you want to.
Yeah. Let's see here. Bob Ravenscraft says, slow down. Think about your statements, doughboy. I like when they call me names.
I know, but what's really funny is you're not allowed to have an opinion. And it's your opinion. It doesn't mean it's real or it's fact or anything. It was just your speculation. Are you not allowed to speculate anything?
No, apparently not.
Apparently not.
Apparently not, because as Ann Watts says, what about Phil Collins? Come on, you guys. David Lee Roth is worth $60 million.
So what?
It's not good to put anyone down like that.
I don't
Did
know.
we put him down?
No.
The only thing we've ever put down is his ability to sing.
Yeah, I think the one that we roasted him pretty bad was on that Live in Tokyo thing that they put out a few years ago.
And the show we actually went to.
Yeah, that was just, it was hard to take.
Yeah, it's terrible. But I mean, dude, they just keep going and going and going. There's just none of them are really too bad. Some people did like the whole, and I'll give you credit for this one, even though I ran with it too. The whole triangle and blocks and washboards and saws bit. People like that segment.
Yeah. But he said it.
Yeah.
Whether you show, what did he say? You show up on the stage with a ukulele or a marching band.
Yeah. We just ran with it.
I mean, he said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So that's that. There's more.
I know, but that's just funny because, did these people take time to read this statement or even, analyze what he was saying?
My guess is most of them, I'm not going to say all of them, but most of them did not listen to the segment. If the little bumper picture that I put on the video, the tag is David Lee Roth dying?
Yeah, I saw it.
So I'm betting all they saw was that. We're like, fuck that, man, and let me throw a comment and tell them a thing or two.
That's too funny.
But I guarantee that's what it was. I guarantee you, because if they would have listened, they would have heard that we just asked the question.
Yeah.
Same question everybody's asking.
Yeah, I know. And again, if you read his statement verbatim, nothing in there is uplifting. Nothing in there sounds like a positive thing at all. Mm-hmm. It's just like I'm throwing in the shoes. I thought I was going to be the first one in Van Halen to exit the planet. I'm not far behind. I realize my mortality. All these other things. It's like, well, okay, what are you really trying to say here, Dave?
Yeah.
It didn't sound like, I bought an island out in, the South Pacific, and I'm just going to retire out there and enjoy the rest of my life. He didn't say anything like that. All he said was, I'm going to take my last curtain call. And, if I make it that long,
right.
It's like, that doesn't sound good.
I'm answering one right now that just came in. You guys are idiots.
Oh,
that's what you guys are idiots, which I am answering back. Quotes are quotes. Maybe you don't sound like an idiot when calling someone else an idiot.
Yeah, that's what happens when people use their cell phones.
You fucking moron.
People who use their cell phones to try to make comments and stuff. I notice there's a lot of bad grammar or missed letters, and it's like, oh, I bet you used your cell phone to do that, didn't you?
Or they're just dumb. I'll go with they're just dumb.
Well, I get a lot of people in business that answer their emails through their cell phone because it says sent from Galaxy or sent from iPhone, and their sentences are incomplete and misspelled and this, that, and the other. And they either do the talk to text.
Yeah.
Or they're trying to type it out on that little screen and they don't do it complete, and then they hit send and it's just like all wonky.
Yeah, they'll send you a quote, like they're going to ask you if you're going to paint the container that they're buying from you, and you'll get an email that'll say, "Are you going to penguin my container?"
Exactly.
It'll be all stupid, makes no fucking sense.
It's like yeah,
I'll penguin it for you.
Yeah, I hate when people use their cell phones.
Yeah, I was doing that a lot, especially when I was sick, because all I had was my phone.
That's a little bit different. I get that,
but I had to switch out to my iPad, because I have a keyboard for my iPad, so I had to switch out just because everything I was typing was coming out all fucked up.
Yeah,
and there's nothing worse than when you spell it right and it changes it anyway.
Yeah, I know it does the spell check. Just they decide what you're really trying to say there. Yeah. And it's like that then you have to go back and try to respell it, and it keeps changing it on you, whether you want it to or not.
Sure.
And you're like, God damn it, stop changing my word.
Yeah. And dude, there's nothing worse though. And I don't know. I know you haven't done this. I'll guarantee it, because I know you don't know dick about settings in your phone. But if you turn off the autocorrect, oh boy, do you realize how fat your fucking fingers are when you're texting. That's even more scary, because as much as it's annoying when it gets it wrong, most of the time it gets it right. And boy, when you turn it off and you just see the line of shit you're typing on your phone, oh, I've tried it twice because I've gotten that frustrated twice. And both times within hours, I had switched it back.
Yeah, so you just took the lesser of the two evils, huh?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now I don't really use it. I mean, I'll text, even now, like when I text like you or something, I do not go out of my way to correct anything. I'm just like, whatever, unless it's blatantly bullshit.
Right.
I'm just like, he'll figure it out.
It's a different world we live in.
Yeah, it is. Well, dude, in what world would you have ever met a Hall of Fame basketball player, for fuck's sake?
I know. It's kind of interesting. For the last few weeks, I've been working with Scottie Pippen, former Chicago Bulls great, former Olympic star. And yeah, I've been working with him for a couple of weeks, and he's been in my office 2 or 3 times over the last couple of weeks. I told you about it.
Yeah.
And you're just like, dude, you got to get a picture.
Yeah.
And again, I tried to be professional the entire time, which I was. And so Friday, yesterday, he came in for the final time, and he purchased a modified shipping container from me. I had a shipping container modified for him.
Do you have to raise the roof on the container?
No, but but he came over to my office, and he brought his brother, and I guess it might have been his associate of his, I don't know. And he was outside. He has this kind of real fancy pickup truck, and he was loading his container with a lot of his, collectibles, valuables, this kind of thing. And I went out to talk to him, and he was sitting on the tailgate of his truck, and he and his brother and a couple other guys were hanging around. I walked up, and he goes, "Wendell, you got to try this cake. It is absolutely phenomenal." They're sitting there eating this cake, right?
Okay.
And he goes, "You come over here. You got to try this cake."
Right.
So I said, "Well, what is it?" And he goes, "It's rum cake. A friend of mine made it." I said, "Okay." So he goes, "Let me cut you off a slice here." So he cut, and I don't normally eat sweets.
I was gonna say, you never eat that shit.
No, but this is Scottie Pippen. One of my goes, "Oh, I don't eat cake."
Yeah.
So I go, okay. So I said, "All right, give me a slice." So he cuts me off this chunk of cake. "That's all yours, brother. Take it. So I took it. I'm eating this cake.
Yeah.
And I ate it. It was real good, real moist and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Woo, that son of a bitch gave me a buzz. Oh, man. I mean, it was just within probably 20 minutes to a half an hour. I was feeling buzzed, man, because I don't eat breakfast and I don't eat lunch or anything. So more or less I had an empty stomach when I ate this, and man, I'm sitting at my desk and I'm starting to get hot. And I'm starting to get a little bit, just a little loopy in the head. And I was just like, holy shit, that was some strong cake.
Yeah, you had 3 shots of rum with your cake. 10 o'clock in the morning or whatever.
And so he had come into the office there, and he was taken off. He sold his house here in Chicago, and he's moving back to Arkansas.
Okay.
And that's what he wanted the container for, was to move his a lot of his collectibles and belongings to Arkansas. And he came to the office to settle up and all kinds of things. And so before he left the office, I say, "Hey, let me grab a picture real quick with you,
Yeah.
So that's the picture I took with him. I sent over to you. So
yeah.
So real nice guy, real friendly, been very very respectful, easy to deal with. Just he'd ask my opinion on things or my advice on stuff, and whatever I suggested, yeah, let's go for that. Yeah, let's do that. That sounds good. Let's do that.
Nice.
So it was a good experience working with him, and very nice guy. Got to be friendly on a
Business friendly.
Yeah, business friendly on a first name basis and stuff. He called me at least, over the last couple of weeks, he called me at least twice a day, to ask questions and things. So it was cool. And so, I did grab that picture before he left. So,
yeah, I dude, that's everybody. It's funny. I put the picture up and I got a lot of people like, holy shit, and then of course we get Jack. It's like, never heard of him. And I'm like, how in the fuck have you never heard of Scottie? And I would get it if it was, I don't know, Tony Kukoc or somebody.
Right, of course.
If it was somebody like that, yeah, I could see never heard of him. Scottie Pippen, I mean, that guy transcends basketball.
Yeah, I mean, it was in the Olympics.
He was in the Olympics. He was Michael Jordan's number 2.
Yeah.
In the most historic time in basketball history. I mean, that's why when you even told me, I was like, holy shit, you need to grab a picture.
Yeah.
He's a fucking huge name. Yeah, I mean, he's a huge name, not just I mean, if I'm not mistaken, he's one of the top 50 of all time in basketball, isn't he?
Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he's like they have that thing every year where they have like the top 75 or whatever, and he's always in the top 50. I mean, he's like legit.
Mm-hmm.
And Jackal, I posted out, he's like, I have no idea who this guy is. Like, the fuck, dude? Sorry, it's not Ian Gillan.
Yeah.
Then you'd know who it is.
It was, it was just kind of a random thing to work with Scottie Pippen. And it was just like, that was cool.
Yeah.
He was, like I said, very friendly guy, easy to get along with, just, and, just to walk out there yesterday, Wendell, you got to try this cake, man. You got to try it.
It's awesome.
So I sat out there and eating cake with Scottie Pippen.
Dude, how tall are you? You're like 6 foot, right?
6 foot even. Yeah, 6 even.
6'1". This dude is a foot fucking taller than you.
Yes, yeah, he's over 7 foot tall. Yeah,
dude, he could bite the top of your head. Hey, look at, if he literally turned, he could bite almost on the top of your head without you bending down.
Mm-hmm.
That's a tall what is he? 6'10"?
He's got to be at least 7 foot.
No, he's not that tall.
Yeah. Well, he's 6'10" maybe.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's, because that guy Bill Cartwright that was on. I was a big Bulls fan. Bill Cartwright was 7 foot tall, and he was shorter than Bill Cartwright, but he was taller than Michael Jordan, and I think Michael Jordan is 6'6". So he's got to be somewhere between 6'6" and 7 foot.
Yeah,
he's easily 6'8", 6'10". I mean, he's tall. It's just funny looking at how you look like you're short because he's so fucking tall.
Yeah, I'm 6 even. So, whatever that amounts to.
Yeah, and your 6 even goes to his teeth. And look at it. His teeth are even with the top of your head.
It is.
It's fucking crazy. Yeah, good stuff though, man.
Yeah.
That's fun. I mean, that doesn't, most people, they work their entire job for however long they work it, 20, 30, 40 years, whatever it is. Never meet anybody famous. Most famous guy they meet is like the assistant to the CEO of their company or something.
or the local popular car dealer.
Yeah, exactly. Is that the big car dealer or the guy that owns the big bakery or something in town?
Or the local newscaster.
Yeah, that's always a big one too. Hey, look, it's the weather girl.
Yeah, hey, look, it's Dick Goddard.
Yeah, you get fucking Hall of Fame basketball players strolling into your place. Now, what was he? You said he was just using this to pack up his shit. What was he modding it for?
It was temperature control.
Oh, okay.
He had a 40-foot container, and we did full insulation, lights, electrical, HVAC.
Okay.
So it's fully temperature controlled. So
he's probably gonna put it in his backyard so that he can, like it, where us married guys would have some little shitty room, in the basement. He built his own container to throw out in the backyard, right?
Yeah, but and again, and there's a lot of security on it. It's got some heavy duty locking bars on it and things like that. So if he's going to put his collectibles in there, from his years of being a sports star, everything is temperature controlled and locked up as tight as a safe. Right.
That way nobody steals all of his championship trophies or fucking Olympic gold medals or whatever.
Yep. So, and then I guess he's got like a line of, I don't know, alcohol, some kind of alcohol line or something.
Yeah, he makes cake with it.
Yeah. I'm not sure what his alcohol line is, but I guess he's gonna store that in there too or something.
Okay.
Not really sure, but anyway, he needed a high security temperature controlled container.
Right.
And I designed it for him, and we built it for him, and we're going to transport it for him to Arkansas.
Look at that. Why is he leaving Chicago? Just because it's a shithole now?
I don't know. I didn't ask. He sold his house, which I guess it sold for like $3 or $4 million or something. Can
you imagine? 3 or 4 million. I just got to get rid of this place.
Yeah. So, and he's from Arkansas, so he's kind of going back home, I guess.
He gave Chicago enough years.
Yeah, no kidding.
And he's worth a bunch of what he was one of the first guys to get like the huge contract too, wasn't he?
Yeah, I don't follow basketball that close, so I don't know all the stats or what he's worth or what he's got paid. I just remember, I went to a few games, I saw him and so on and so forth. But as far as, being any kind of a sports fanatic, I couldn't give you any stats.
If I remember right, when he went to, where did he go? Portland, I think, after the Bulls, when he became a free agent and went to Portland, he signed what was at the time like the biggest contract. He was making more money than Michael Jordan, which was like a big controversy that he was making all that money. But he's one of the first guys, might even be one of the first guys to sign for, like $50 million or something, which would make him broke in the NBA now. But, back then that was a huge deal.
Yeah. I mean, you got to realize his heyday was in the 90s.
Yeah.
So, it's 20 years removed since he was, at the top of his game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, good for you, man. It's cool.
Yeah.
You got drunk with Scottie Pippen. That's a story you can tell everybody.
Just completely unexpected, and it was kind of a surreal situation, to be on the phone. This is Scottie Pippen. It's like, hey, how are you, Scottie? I need to get some modifications. I'm just like, okay, what are we thinking here? And then, I ran down the whole scenario with him with all the different suggestions. Yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that. Let's do that.
Right. First time that he called, did you believe it was like that Scottie Pippen?
Well, it was a referral.
Okay.
So I knew it was legit. It's like, here's Scottie Pippen needs this. Here's his phone number. Call him.
Mm-hmm.
And so I did.
Who was that from? Phil Jackson?
No, it's somebody associate in the business. But, since we do that kind of a thing, it was a referral. It said, here's, Scottie Pippen needs this. And, we know that you do this. So give him a call. I told him that, you could help him.
Yeah. Well, you've been at that company now, what, 5 years?
No, it's almost 7.
7? Wow. Jeez.
Yep.
Jeez. How time has flown since you left the Indians.
Yeah, no kidding. It's been almost 7 years since I left the Indians.
Yeah, no shit. So is he the first celebrity you've come in contact with in that context?
As far as doing a job is concerned, yeah.
Yeah. Who did you come into somebody that like was quoting or just buying containers or something?
No, I guess, if you want to put it in celebrity status, yeah, I guess he'd be the first and only one so far.
Okay. I was going to say, I would think as that business grows, because it is such a cheap way. I mean, not cheap, but a cheaper way to build space, to build living space or habitable space. I would think that you're going to see more celebrities because they all have lots of collectibles.
Well, I agree with you. And the thing is that I believe we did good service for him. And I know he was really satisfied with what we did for him.
Right.
So I have no doubt that somewhere down the road, somebody will see what he has, or maybe he'll tell somebody about what he has. And I wouldn't be surprised about getting a phone call, from somebody else saying, hey, Scottie referred me.
Yeah,
I understand. So it just takes that one time, and it kind of opens up the door. Now, if we did a shitty job or he wasn't happy with it, of course, that out the window. But, that's when he was leaving my office. So you could tell he seemed like in pretty good spirits, rum cake aside.
Yeah, no kidding. Dude, people just somebody in the chat room just put up a picture of his house. Jesus Christ. Holy shit. That's a house.
Let me take a look here.
That's a nice house.
Where is it here?
Brian from Tennessee.
Yeah, that's it.
And if you scroll up even further, and this should give you hope, there's a picture of his gym. So if he has pictures of his gym online somewhere, then clearly he could put up a picture of his new, memorabilia container.
Yeah, his new container.
Yeah, why not? Once he fills it with all his stuff.
Yeah.
Put a picture of it up somewhere.
There you go.
That'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's very cool, man. That seems like a cool thing. Nobody Nobody I know gets those kind of visitors.
Yeah, well, again, like I said, it was completely unexpected and kind of surreal in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and it was just kind of like, oh, this is Scottie Pippen,
Yeah.
you know. And since I was the direct contact there, he called me, like I said, a couple times a day, asking questions or wanting to do something different or had some ideas that he wanted to float by me or whatever the case may be. And we got along just great.
Yeah. Did the other people in your office know who he was?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it is Chicago. I guess everybody but Super Jackal would know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's amazing to me. How could you not know? I mean, I'm not saying you got to recognize him from the picture. I'm just saying when you see the name, I mean, this is not a random guy. It's a guy that was on the news every night for fucking 15 years.
Of course.
Even if you didn't live in Chicago. Okay. Well, good for you, man. Looks like you had a little fun this week. Got drunk with Scottie Pippen.
I had a good experience with Scottie. I believe we, gave him exactly what he wanted, and he shared his rum cake with me. So,
yeah. Well, I can tell you now, this episode's going to be called "Neeley Got Drunk with Scottie Pippen."
So, well, there you are. so that was my week.
Well, that's cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, how are you feeling? Are you good?
I'm great. I'm fine.
All right. Well, I say we take a little break.
All right.
And let you pick a tune. So what do you think we ought to play?
I am going to say, do I want to go? I'm not going common. I'm going to go kind of obscure. How about Danny Vaughn, Badlands Rain?
Okay.
That's pretty obscure. That's from the Traveler release.
All right. Let's see here. Pull that up. Danny Vaughn, huh?
Danny Vaughn, yeah.
Mm-hmm. See here. Danny Vaughn.
Yep.
There he is.
And the album is Traveler.
Oh, there it is. I got it.
Cool.
I got it.
Cool.
All right. And what was the name of the tune?
Badlands Rain.
All right. I got it. All right. Well, we're going to play a few songs. You need 4?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to play a few tunes here. So here it is. It's Danny Vaughn of Taiketo fame. And this is Badlands Rain exclusively here
on your classic metal show.